6:42 p.m. I don't want to shout this, so hopefully I won't have to. It's really good advice that I got to report all of this status updates, because at the moment that I need to make the decisions, I should have a real clear vision of who to invest in. This is really great. So far, the one that I was gonna get an RV for, I can't. Because either, can I fucking leave the parking lot to do this? Yeah, I can now. Fuck, what a fucking pain in the ass. You have to stop, walk, all this shit, stand. This has got to stop. Cross the street? Okay. Okay. So he either has true, actual white nationalist loyalties, which is what's going on in there. It's a neo-Nazi terror cell. I mean, once you start frying people, that happened again too. Let me try to get to this. All right. Which explains stepdad in the parking lot. Okay, yeah. But I gotta stop talking about that even to this day. All right. Okay. Let's plug an ear now and try to continue here. So either he's so loyal to his neo-Nazi gang in there, let's just call it a gang for the internet, that tonight he's furious that I'm alive. It's all this is about. And he's out there doing a work project with the very fucking tweaker who knows about all this shit, who used it, and had a fucking 15-minute tantrum about me being a science project in a plant. One ear is still plugged. So to get to the most recent usage of the government property, I can say specifically where it happened and when. It was in the laundry room, okay? And it was about 15 minutes ago. And it burns when it hits. I have a burn on my skin. I'm not gonna say where, and that's how I know it. And so my face is bright fucking red as a fire truck. And there's a burn on my skin, but I'm not gonna say where. So I need to put aloe vera gel and wash it off with some soap. And there's too much mufflers to get into this, okay? But then I come out, and then the gang here is really, really fucking mad that I'm still walking and talking. It's all that this is about in there. So another thing that happened, okay? This is why I'm doing the status updates, because it's freaking stroke a genius to do these status updates like this. Okay. The crazy lady that screams at cars and pushes the cart and demands to go to Mars cannot come. No. So she's out, and so is the RV guy. He's out. So that is now... There's two more out. So we were down to 5. Now we're only down to 3. I don't think anyone's coming. I don't think I'm going to succeed at trying to help anyone get out, but maybe I will. Okay. So this crazy lady is not as crazy as I make her out to be. I'm not going to stand on the side of the street with an earplug and describe it. Okay? Okay. She has her moments where she's completely sane. We'll talk about it another time. So she came back, and after I had been hit in the laundry room and my skin was burning and shit where it hits, and my face is bright red and my skin feels like someone just put a curling iron or something really hot, like an iron. Anyways, we'll describe it later when I don't have to shout on the sidewalk. So after that happened, I sat, I can't say where I sat, and she had been spoken to in the time that I suppose didn't see her. I'm trying to piece it together when they told her, but what's important here is who told her. Because she had no fucking idea about this equipment, this government stuff. She had no fucking idea. And now even she knows. The lady who screams about going to Mars at the skate park at 6 in the morning, screaming bloody murder about Mars. Yeah, that one. We must get back to Mars. And she really, really meant it. When she had that fit, she was truly in despair. Even she knows this complete whack job. She pushes a cart into traffic and screams at cars. Even she knows about the equipment, and she used it on me. That's why she can't come. I was really disappointed to see her do that. But it's about who told her in there. And it's about the fact that even she knows about it and used it. So this is what I meant when I said caliber. Now I'm even seeing her use it. But it makes sense, okay? Because of the ranting she would do when she wasn't screaming about Mars, about Jewish people, and she would get really confrontational with me. And then this psych warfare shit she did this morning about being in your 40s, and it was obviously somebody told her to do that, so she's completely capable of this sort of stuff, and we'll discuss and describe it later. So whoa. And so they prepped her. They told her to come and have that conversation, okay? All right? And they prepped her to convince her, yes, Jewish people are Satan, and they're just prepping, and they know how aware and where her brain is. How crazy is she? And so they prepped her, and then they brought her in. Now she's even aware of the government property. So she stood there for fucking 5 straight fucking minutes. She didn't stand, but we'll talk about it, what she did. It definitely needs to be discussed, but someone's going to have to remind me to do it. She did lots of stuff and things for 5 fucking endless minutes. Very close to my physical persons, as it's always supposed to be used. Blah, blah, blah. To use the equipment. And while she was doing it, she kept looking up at me. Looking up and over at me to see if it was working. They all do that. The caliber in there is a nightmare. I mean, we had one hollering about science projects, and I walk out after she had just done it, and that guy's back in the parking lot. Yeah, and if he's not screaming about science projects when it comes to me, he's screaming about Coke. He's Mr. Coke. That's the coin name I've given him, is Mr. Cocaine, Mr. Coke. He's from Chicago. He knows about Coke. Like, I know everything about this guy. Here he is now. He's going towards the beach, that one spot. They go to that one spot where the pimp lady goes. He's looking over here at me now. Please don't come here and complain about science projects and plants, you fucking cokehead. Please don't bring your bike this way. Please, God, please. Okay, good. He's going the other way. Okay, so Miss, I can't say her name. As much as I wanted to help her for obvious ethical reasons, you can't. She's too involved with the neo-Nazi gang, and they're way too involved. In fact, now that she has knowledge and she's used that stuff with fucking depraved heart. You know, there's things to classify, and there's force, there's I don't have the recall for the words, but when you're planning and plotting, it's just, try to understand, it's called depraved heart. So she definitely has a lot more hatred towards black and brown than I maybe wanted to admit to myself, because I thought I could help her, but then I don't have the skill set, and she's so crazy screaming about going to Mars. I guess, you know, unless you have the skill set, I couldn't evaluate that. So thankfully, with these status updates I've been doing, it brought out the worst in every one of those neo-Nazi gang members in there. So now I know the RV guy is out. He's so fucking pissed that I'm walking and talking, dude. I mean, this guy, when I came out to smoke, I went to vape and I was going to report about the crazy woman now that I just reported. He got 2 feet behind me. He came running up from the back wall of the men's section, and within 10 seconds was right behind me as I'm going out the door. There's this hallway. He was right behind me and he wouldn't get off me. He wouldn't get away from behind me. I tried to stop and let him pass. He just stood there and stand behind me. That's the kind of shit they do when they're trying to use the equipment. He was in a rage and fucking desperate to get it to go off. And just following. Do you know what it's like to have a crazy man 1 foot behind you, refusing to get by, refusing to pass by, just following you like a shadow up a ramp to a door to exit a building, just following behind you? Do you know what that's like? Okay, that's how this stuff works. These insane fucking people have knowledge of this shit. I have a burn now, I won't say where, on my skin. That's one of the ways it works, and my face is bright cherry red. And then so I can't buy him an RV. The guy's, if he wasn't using that equipment, which he obviously was, don't come here, fucking Mr. Coke. Mr. Coke knew I was here, and he's got to ride his bike right by. There goes Mr. Cocaine now. And he waves because he thinks he runs the cops. He heard me say there goes Mr. Cocaine, and he waves, and he knows all about the government equipment. He fucking drove his bike past me on purpose. They really don't think anything can happen to them. No. Look, I've been on the floor in shock that these people, these bums, these meth addicts who sit in parks and with bubble glasses really do think that they can get away with this shit with that kind of weapons they're using. They really fucking believe that. But then some of them talk to themselves. Yeah, and Miss whatever goes to Mars, screaming about Mars. So do you understand? Have I made it clear the caliber of individuals with this kind of knowledge is really serious? No, they're going to face consequences. You can't give these kind of people that kind of gear, dude. But they're all over the place tonight. So, and I got burnt in there really bad, literally physically burnt from it. So, okay, but that's what I mean. Mr. Cocaine thinks he's going to drive his bike past me and wave when I'm saying what I know he is, Mr. Cocaine. This guy is such a creep. I'm not allowed to describe him. If I could fucking take a picture of this guy, your fucking chin would be on the floor. You'd be floored with what kind of fucking scum motherfuckers are doing this shit. Okay? No, and this is, Heidi East Coast. Do I get my point over? I'm up to 14 minutes. Like, I've seen it all, right? No. When I said I hadn't, and now I think I have. This Washington state really brought in some of the fucking creepiest people I've ever seen in my fucking life. They outdo ghettos in New York. They outdo Harlem. They outdo some of this really nasty parts of Brooklyn. I've been thinking that they outdo parts of Staten Island. They compete with Staten Island. Staten Island had some really, really, really nasty people. But these ones outdo them because of the drug abuse. The bums, addicts here are so wasted on meth and fentanyl, these ones that I'm talking about, like the one that just went by on his bike. And they're given lunch, breakfast, dinner, clothes, every fucking thing. So, of course, they outdo the Staten Island ones. Because nobody's fucking cooking them lunch, breakfast, and dinner on Staten Island. They do it here in Port Townsend. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why they did it. Okay, places like this fake Clean and Sober Cafe. It's not a Clean and Sober Cafe, and there's a reason why they're cooking them lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and giving them $100 tennis shoes. There was $100 tennis shoes there today. Everything they get, everything given to them. Okay, now, So the RV guy, I'm just gonna stay away from him because he's getting physically really aggressive, and he's about 6 feet tall. He's a big guy, and with my self-defense skills, I don't fight a man. I don't do that. I can get away. I know I can protect myself, but I'm not gonna get into combat with a man. So if they're gonna get that fucking desperate in there, which is what he did, by the way that he was going up the ramp and not getting away from me, just walking right behind me like 1 fucking foot, basically glued to me as I was going up. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and there's cameras in there. So if he's doing that, which he is, no, we're not taking him out, and no, we're not buying him an RV, and no, I can't have Miss Lacey, coming either. I said her name, whoopsie doopsie. But no, because she's with depraved heart, getting money, getting all on fire for her neo-Nazism, her white pride, her white power. And she, for like a good 6 minutes, just sat there and kept looking up at me, looking away, looking up, looking away, peeking again, looking back, and looking away. She just did this shit. I'm like, man, you need to talk about Mars. You really fucked up. You really fucked up. But listen, it's worse for the person who told her about it. Okay, and it's worse in a military perspective. It's worse that she knows about it. It's not so much about her because she's so fucking nuts. She was up at the street screaming about Mars. So you got to understand that everything I say is a military perspective. I think if anyone's listened, they know that. So we're up to almost 15 minutes. I want to keep this somewhat on the Instagram, but I passed my 13-minute marker. So I don't know about this. Who's going to actually end up? There's Mr. Coke again. He did a 1-block circle right around me. Now he's back going to that boardwalk where that pimp lady from the Sober Cafe goes. They always gravitate right back to that spot. Okay, I don't know who's going to go. I don't know if I can help them. I don't know if they want to just be so loyal to the neo-Nazi gang in there, but I'm still going to do some invitations to get an offer for getting out. But by the time it happens, I don't know. I just don't know if there'll be any of them. And honestly, with the kind of fucking shit they know about and that they're using, by the time that it all gets finalized and you know, I'm do my business stuff, I don't know who's going to actually be in there. It's the truth. We need to be honest. Okay, bye.